Okay, so go take full over there. Go normal and take full. And here give a port on which you want to run. So let me give 8089 as my port. Okay, and then you have to also give the password. So anybody is doing parallelly with me?
Port number है उसको करो 8089 क्या करो और यहाँ पर आपका लिख दो आकाश 6 digit का लिखो 6 characters लिखो 6 characters. Small. Why do you want to make it fancy? Why can't it be simple? हाँ और पासवर्ड भी आकाश लिखो.
Okay, simple password, 6-digit password it wants. So let me give whatever password, username, right? Username. Let me give admin and password also I will give. Roles manager and manager admin. Okay. Let me just make a notepad and store this. Okay. Down here. Admin. Next, we'll have this location install and installing. And setup has been installation has been complete. So let's go to this and check.
ठीक है. सी प्रोग्राम पे आपको अपाचे स्टोर करना है क्या? तो हम लोग क्या करेंगे उसका ये जो है अपने को क्या तो समझो नया फोल्डर बनाएंगे सेव कर देंगे. सेव करना है आपको आप
Okay, change the path
हो जाएगा. ठीक है within a minute.
Change the path of the installation. I didn't change the path of the installation.
So this will install. Now uncheck both of them. दोनों को uncheck करो.
Okay, start करने की जरूरत नहीं थी.
और finish करो. ठीक है. हाँ तो ये आपका स्टेप 2 हो गया. ये आपका क्या हो गया? स्टेप 2 की आपने इंस्टॉल भी कर दिया उसको. ठीक है. आपने फुल ले लिए थे, पोर्ट चेंज कर दिए थे, यूजर नेम पासवर्ड दे दिए थे, आपने अपना खुद का जेडीकी का पाथ दिए थे, है ना?
ओके.
स्टेप्स अभी अपने को क्या करना है मालूम है क्या?
स्टेप्स इधर भी है.
अपने अपना खुद का पाथ बना देते हैं.
F
ड्राइव में 6 सेमेस्टर. ओके. अभी क्या होता है नॉर्मली जैसे ये इंस्टॉल होता है ना, क्या हो गया? So now we have installed. So this whenever you will start your computer, your Apache will start. तो अपने को Apache अपने को खुद को स्टार्ट करने का है. अपन तो क्या करना चाहिए? सबसे पहले उसको सर्विसेज यहाँ टाइप करो. सर्विसेज टाइप करो.
सर्विसेज. ओके. सर्विसेज नेक्स्ट व्हाट?
सर्विसेज में जाके Apache Tomcat सर्विस सिलेक्ट करने का.
Apache Tomcat सर्विस.
तो फिर अभी क्या करना है इसमें जाके जो Apache Tomcat सर्विस है इसको सिलेक्ट करके इस पे राइट क्लिक करने का. So right click on the Tomcat, Apache Tomcat, right click. तू क्लिक करना है, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा तो हाँ प्रॉपर्टीज में जा.
राइट क्लिक
और ये जो है ना स्टार्टअप टाइप, इसको मैन्युअल है ना, ठीक है. लोगों को इधर क्लिक करो, उसके ऊपर क्लिक कर, उससे तो नॉर्मली ऑटोमेटिक आता है, मैन्युअल कर देने का. तो अपना पहले से मैन्युअल है. वेरी गुड. अप्लाई ओके. मैन्युअल है. वेरी गुड. तो वो नॉर्मली ऑटोमेटिक आता है.
स्टार्टअप टाइम ऑटोमेटिक
मैन्युअल कर देंगे. तो अपना पहले से मैन्युअल है. वेरी गुड. अप्लाई ओके.
मैन्युअल
ओके. इसको बंद कर दे. 7 कैसे आ गया? अपना 8 था ना अभी. तो 7 किसने इंस्टॉल किया था? हाँ प्रॉपर्टीज पे जा. हाँ देख, तो नॉर्मली ऑटोमेटिक होता है, तो उसको मैन्युअल कर दे. अप्लाई ओके. ठीक है. अब इसको बंद कर दे. तो ये अपना ये स्टेप भी हो गया. कर दे इसको, ओके कर दे. ओके ओके.
we finished in this step now.
बंद कर दे.
The installation is complete. Now some
अभी देखो
settings
ये स्टेप
are
भी हो गया
there.
अपना. ठीक है, अपन ने इसको मैन्युअल कर दिया. अब स्टेप 3, अपने को सेटिंग्स करनी है अपने को. वो सेटिंग्स क्या है कि अपने को जो अपन ने इंस्टॉल किए ना अपना अपाचे टॉमकैट, उसके लिब में जाना है. किस में जाना है?
और जावा
लिब फोल्डर में. और कौन से फाइल्स कॉपी करना है अपने को?
सर्वलेट एपीआई एंड JS.
ये 2 फाइल्स कॉपी करने हैं, .jar और उसको पेस्ट कहाँ करना है? जाओ अभी लिब में जाओ. गो टू योर F ड्राइव 6 सेमेस्टर. हाँ इसमें आ गए. हाँ इसमें जाओ, लिब में जाओ. कंटिन्यू. लिब में ये 2 फाइल कॉपी करो, सर्वलेट एपीआई और JSP एपीआई. दोनों कॉपी कर लिया.
सर्वलेट एपीआई एंड JSP. Okay, copy it from here.
जहां अपन ने जावा इंस्टॉल किया है ना, सी में प्रोग्राम फाइल, वहां जाओ.
I have JDK.
हाँ जावा JDK.
JDK.
हाँ लिब में जाओ.
JDK lib.
और यहाँ पेस्ट कर दो उनको. कंटिन्यू.
Okay, this step also is done.
हाँ ठीक है. तो ये वाला स्टेप भी हो गया. अभी क्लिक कर, वर्ड पे क्लिक कर. तो ये वाला सेटिंग वाला भी होगा. ठीक है. नीचे आ गई.
Now set these as
नीचे आ जाना.
your
अभी अपने को एनवायरनमेंट वेरिएबल सेट करने हैं. तो कैटेलिना होम और क्लास पाथ. ठीक है. तो कैटेलिना होम अपना जो अपन ने किया ना अभी, F ड्राइव 6 सेमेस्टर अपाचे टॉमकैट, वो वाला पाथ देना है. तो कॉपी कर, वेरिएबल कॉपी कर. हाँ. और माय कंप्यूटर पे जा, दिस पीसी पे. हाँ यहाँ एडवांस सेटिंग. यस. यहाँ पर कैसे है अपन, यहाँ पर कैसे आ गए वो दिखा. बंद कर इसको. गो टू दिस पीसी. नहीं
who is doing it parallelly with me installation.
हाँ जाओ उधर. ये खोल, फोल्डर खोल. फोल्डर हाँ फोल्डर खोल. फोल्डर पे क्लिक कर, आ जा. हाँ यहाँ पर अभी दिस पीसी पे राइट क्लिक कर. दिस पीसी पे राइट क्लिक. प्रॉपर्टीज. जहाँ पर अपन ने इंस्टॉल किया है, डबल क्लिक कर और इधर वो
what are the two variables we have to set? First is Catalina home. For the Catalina home on the previous, make it. And what should be the path of Catalina home? Path of your Apache Tomcat. Wherever is your Apache Tomcat, C, program file, Apache Foundation, Tomcat, this. The next variable which we have to set is class. In the class path, add the path of these two. From the JDK, the path of the file which we just copied. So in the JDK, set the path of the two files we just copied. So this path will go in the class path, right? Class path is already there. Class path is already there. Make a new entry. Your name of this slash and the name of the file, which is servlet -API. Okay. Jar. Second file was ASP-API. Once this is done, I guess the last step also has been covered. Now you need to start the server. So go to your Tomcat bin and click on the red feather. Tomcat bin and
पाथ से जाओ उधर से। हाँ, ये पेस्ट कर दो। तो क्लास जावा में जा, कॉपी कर इसको। हो गया? जा कुछ भी लिख। तो ये अपना कौन सा स्टार्ट कैसे करना है सर्वर को, स्टोर किया। हाँ, इधर जा और ये देखो। हाँ, जो भी है कर। तो, और ये दिख रहा है फेदर वाला आइकन टॉमकैट 8, उस पर डबल क्लिक कर। हाँ, जो भी है कर। ठीक है, इधर सर्वर स्टार्ट हो रहा है। यहाँ लिख के आ जाएगा कि सर्वर स्टार्टेड इन हाउ मेनी सेकेंड। यस कर इसको। अलग एक्सेस किया।
run the server, double click on this.
ओके, ये अभी आपका हो गया। ये स्टेप भी हो गया कि सर्वर अपने स्टार्टअप भी कर दिया।
ये सर्वर एक्सेस एंड सर्वर स्टार्टअप।
ठीक है, अभी अपने को क्या करना है, लॉग इन करना है। तो लॉग इन करने के लिए ब्राउजर ओपन कर लें।
Now to log in, you have to open the browser with
नेट ऐप खोल, लोकल होस्ट टाइप कर, लोकल होस्ट कोलन 8089 जो कोड देते हैं अपन ने। एंटर।
मैनेजर ऐप, यूजर नेम वाज SCS admin।
ठीक है, टॉमकैट शुरू हो गया। अभी अगर अपने को सैंपल प्रोग्राम रन करना है तो अपने चैट पे जा और मैंने जो भेजा ना माय सर्व वो डाउनलोड कर।
ओके, ऑल गुड। We have done the installation.
Download my stuff.
Anybody else who's done the installation along with me? Following this video, simple steps. So today we can start with servlets. Okay, I've done the servlet installation, and now we'll try to run a servlet program.
Yes, sir.
So who's done the setup along with me? Who was doing it parallelly with me? Anyone?
So I guess I do have, just I want to make sure.
Others? Okay, so what servlet is? So today will be a first step in the direction of web development in Java. Okay, so if we wish to make web development, okay, web applications in Java, so the beginning is servlets. Servlet will explain you how the data flows, how the life cycle of the data from front end.
I can see only the folder screen.
Now,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
yeah, so life cycle of the data from the front end to the server to the database to and fro, okay, in both the directions. So when I this also and the reverse also. Both to and fro. So what are the main components in a web application? First is the client, then second is the server, which will, and the third will be the database. Okay, so we have three main components in any web application. We have client-side programming, we have server-side programming, and we have database-side programming. Programming is at all the three ends. Client will see the UI, the user interface. So if we are making a login form, so the login form user interface, which are text boxes and buttons, that will be accessed by the user. The user will enter his information. Okay, so if he wants to log in, I'll provide a form to the user with two buttons, two text boxes and one button. And I'll ask the user to enter his or her credentials. So if it is Alice, she'll enter Alice @abc.com and her password. Okay, whatever password. Let's say Alice123. Now this data, on the moment I click login, this data gets transferred into an object. Okay, what there might be some class, there might be some user class. So it gets transferred into an object of the user class with two attributes, username and password. With the relevant information, whatever the username and password is. And now this information is sent to the server where it will do the processing of this data. So client just requests for the service. The service provider is at the server. So when the client sends this data, sends this request, so this arrow which is coming from the client to the server is called as request. called as request. Now the server will receive this information in the server side object. Okay, so server will receive this in the, let's say I will call it as server object, server user object. So the server end also will have a class user, and we will receive this information in our object. And now whether to make sure that this is a legitimate user or not, I will have to connect to the database, because at the end there will be a table maintained of all the legitimate users in the database. So ABC company. So I'll log into the ABC company database, and in that there might be a login table or users table, and that table might have two attributes: username and password. And among the million entries, there should be one entry for this credentials also. Alice @ blah 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 and Alice12. So now JDBC will come into the picture. I will send a request to the database that I'll prepare a query. Select star from login where username ? I'll make a prepared statement. Username equal to ? and password equal to ? And values I will set from here. What I've got. So it will return me the object. If an object is returned, so if it returns me one object, so that will come in the RS. So if my count of RS is 1, means it's a legitimate user, the user exists by these credentials. And if my count of RS, the length of my RS is 0, means there is no record by these credentials. So I will send an appropriate response. So all the business logic is at the server end. Client will just send the data, and I'll process this data with the help of the database, and then I'll send a response from the server. So while sending the response, I can prepare a HTML page and send. So I can send the response in plain textual format by just saying invalid user, or I can prepare a HTML page. In that I can put some HTML markups. In that, in bold, I can say invalid user. And I can put some HTML markups to it. I make the text bold, make the text italic, make the text underlined. All these HTML effects I can give. I can send the response in either two ways. So this is called as a textual response. This is called as a HTML response. And then this response is reflected on the front end. So front end will just project the data. Okay, and we also have some front end languages also going on in the market. JavaScript is the front end language. So where JavaScript comes into the picture is one of the many other uses of JavaScript is validation. So if my text box is empty, and user tries to hit the login button, will I send empty data to the server? No, right? So I need to make sure that my object I'm sending is fully populated. So all these validations are done at the client side only. Please enter valid username, please enter valid input, valid password, XYZ, all those stuff is done at the client side, and then the proper data is sent to the server. Server applies the business logic. If the server requires the help of the database, okay, this is optional. Okay, there might at times be wherein the database is not used to process that query. So if I just want to, let's say, if I just give my age and weight and height and waist size. I mean, I make an application or I make an Android or iOS application that you provide me these details, and I will provide you your fitness age. Okay, one is your actual age, which is mentioned on the birth certificate, and one is your fitness age. You know, so Ronaldo being 38 years is as fit as a 23-year-old, and there might be some obese 23-year-old who can't even run, who can't even walk. So their age is past 50. The fitness age is past 50. So I am making a software. So I'll just do some proper calculations over here. I just have to do some calculation. For this, I don't require any database. It's just pure calculations which I have to do. Put some for loop, put some if conditions, and whatever value is there, just return that value. Your fitness age is XYZ. So this is the optional part. But in the corporate applications, this becomes next to mandatory because you'll always have a database layer also. And these will be three different machines. Okay, so if the IP address of this is, this might be on a different machine and will be on a different machine, 100% guaranteed. Okay, clients so have their own handheld devices or whatever, mobiles, laptops. So each client will log in from a different machine. So these are all geographically spread out. But in your lab environment, like the example which I'm taking today, all these three stuff will be on the same computer. So when your server is on the very same PC as the client and the database is, so that server you call as a local host. So for academic purpose, we can stick with local host. So either you should know the name of the server, the IP address of the server. If you don't know the IP address of the server and you know that the server is on this very machine, then you can type local host also. No need to remember the IP address of that server machine. So what goes on the client to the server is your request, and what comes from the server is your response. Okay. So many a times our response will be in the form of a JSON object. So that's why we had taken the session of JSON, and sending the data will also go in the form of a JSON object many a times. Okay. So that is called as RESTful APIs. So when your API RESTful APIs, they send the data in the form of a so when you send the data from RESTful, your currency of trading, the currency of your request and your response is a JSON format that is called as RESTful API. Okay. We also have one more currency called as XML. You can trade in XML also. Send the data in the form of XML and receive the data in the form of XML. Okay. That becomes a SOAP request response. Okay. When you send it with XML is your trading standard. You're sending the data and receiving the data in the form of XML, then that becomes a SOAP request. Okay, so REST API and SOAP APIs are two famous standards of sending and receiving data. Okay, This data will come to the server. So this is what we have to study now, how to process that request which has come from the server, and then generate a response and display that response at the client side. And if needed, we will take the database also into consideration. So all that examples of statement and prepared statement which we have solved, taking input from the console, right? So if I was doing a prepared statement and I asked to enter employee number, employee name, salary, from where did we enter the product number, product name, product price? From where did we receive that data?
In browser?
All this while when we were doing, I'm asking. So when we were entering the product number, product name, product description, and price and quantity, where did I accept that data from? From the console, right?
Yes, sir.
So now we will accept it from the front end form. So now we'll make a form and we will ask the user, enter product number, enter product name, enter product description, enter product quantity, enter product price, and then we will make a button in HTML and say save. And once he clicks the save, all this information will be sent to the server, and the server will now create a prepared statement query and insert that data in the product table. So in one database, you can have multiple tables. So we'll also have a product table also. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So in the
Yes, sir.
product table, all this information what we are entering in the text boxes, 101, laptop, mobile, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Price and quantity, all that record will come in this product table once I click on save. So now we will use the browser to receive and show the data, blah, blah. And if I want to display the data, similarly, I'll fetch from the database in a result set. And then from that result set, I will populate a table, table tag.
Yes,
And
sir. Table tag.
Right? In that,
Yes,
so
sir.
from that
Table.
RS, what I have got, I will prepare the data in a table tag, RS. Remember TD, TR, TD.
Yes, sir. TRTD.
Sir.
Table data, table row. Yes.
Yes, so I'll put a
Yes,
loop
sir.
over
Table
there
heading.
and blah, blah, blah. I'll prepare that table and then send the table as a response. And that table will display on the client side. Getting it? So
Yes,
here,
sir.
this is the server, right? So what is code, also known as coding, is also known as scripting? Yes or no?
Yes.
Writing a code is also similar to writing a
Scripting.
script, right? Okay. So it's called as scriptlet. It's called as what? Scriptlet. And we have a machine. Machine can be either of the three machines can be there. You can have a client machine or server machine or database machine, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now I will do some fusion now. I will do some fusion. Some words in the English dictionary have been formed by fusing two words, like ice cream. So these are two individual words. Ice is a word and cream is a word. Now you fuse these two words and you make a
One
desert.
word.
So if you want to explain a dessert which has to be eaten
Yes.
cold, and you cannot wait for it to melt, then you will call such dessert as ice cream, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
they've used two words to make one word. So now similarly, we'll use two words now. So I'll remove the client now. I'll remove the database. Now, which machine am I talking about?
Script
Which machine am I talking about?
server.
Server. And if I take server and if I take scriptlet and I want to form a fusion of this, what will it come? So let's take the first four of this and last three
Servlet.
will be called as.
Servlet.
Servlet.
Yes.
So what is servlet? It's the code.
Servlet is the combination of server and scriptlet.
Yeah, that is the fusion word. But what is the meaning of that? It's the code which is kept at the server. Code which is kept at the server is called as servlet. Okay, and by code I mean executable code. Okay, and is .java a executable code? .java is a source code. Okay, I might have a lots of errors in that .java code. Okay, .java gets translated to .class, which is my binary code, right? So
Yes, sir.
when I mean by code, I mean the executable code, that is class file. Which file? So what is a servlet? Who can explain me in single? Okay, I'll have to explain it. The class file kept on the server machine is known as servlet. Who's getting this? What I'm trying to say? What is servlet? Who understood this fusion of the two words? Scriptlets mean code and server is the machine. So what is servlet? The code which is kept at the server machine. And by code, I do not mean source code, because source codes can have n number of errors. Unless and until all the errors are solved, then only which file do you get? Have you all seen
Dot
this?
class.
Have you all seen a .class file?
Mhm.
See, problem is that we directly started with Eclipse, no? So that's why we first recommend people that you all should go with your traditional notepad in the very first session, no? Don't jump to Eclipse. In the first session, go with the traditional notepad. Okay, so if I want to make a class called addition and I want to display addition of two numbers, are you able to see my notepad screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is the class name?
Addition
Addition.
And where am I doing the coding?
Class.
in the
Public.
class.
In the where am I doing the coding? Which tool am I? Which editor am I using?
Notepad.
Notepad.
So I'm not using Eclipse, because in Eclipse it generates it automatically for you all. So we as a programmer don't get to see the class file. So now this is my main method. Okay, so this requires some labor. This requires some all typing, right? This doesn't help you with all the sys out and the shortcuts. So, but I just want to show you what is the class file. So if I want to find sum of two numbers, what do I do? Yes. What will be my logic to find the sum of two numbers?
N1 plus N3. Yes.
Right.
Display
So
N3.
system dot println and entry.
Entry. Okay. Now is this code
Semicolon.
syntactically correct?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So how do I save this code now?
File.
But
Save.
Control S addition.java.
Okay, why only addition? Can't I save it as demo.java, test.java?
No, always
sir.
file save with the class names. So always Java file save with the class name.
If I have two classes in it, then
Yes, so addition, then we save the file is
if I have two
addition.java.
if I have two classes in this, then now
So, sir, head of the class is the main class save, sir. The name of the file is the main of the class. It main class save the name of XYZ, then we save a file xyz.java.
Give you a pattern. The class which contains main is
Yes.
made. So if I have two more classes, class A and class B, which class will I make public? In one source file, you can have only one public class. You can have only,
One public class.
so which class should I give the priority of making public? The class,
Addition, if you start with addition, then addition one.
the class which contains the main method should be given
Yes.
priority to made public. And program is saved by the name of the public class. Program is saved by the name of the, yes, program is
So
saved.
there is no need to save our public class.
Yes.
Class contain a main, then we save the file with the main class
And
name.
dot Java. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, we can see, sir.
Class
sir.
is public dot
Addition
Java.
to Java.
Okay. Now if I compile this code, okay, so this is my source file. Okay. So if I
Yes,
make
sir.
an application, okay, let's say I make a application. Have you heard of Trivago?
Trivago, yes.
Okay, it's a very
Yes.
popular search engine which
Yeah.
searches different price, compares and fetches prices of different hotels and then gives you the
Which one, sir?
Trivago.
Trivago. I don't know, sir. I'm not aware with this.
I am the developer of Trivago and I make this site and this is the code for
It's a hotel.
and this is the
Trivago
code,
Hotel.
this is the code for the entire Trivago. So can I share this code with my customer that you have subscribed for my services? Here is the code. Please run this code.
No.
No,
Why
No.
do they share you the source code? So if you have a CD of Microsoft Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, does Microsoft say you the source code of how Microsoft has made the Windows? Or
No.
it shares you an exe?
Yes, sir. Execute file.
Does it share you a .NET file? Which file does it share? Microsoft is .NET, right?
Yes, sir.
So will I share this addition.java file with my client?
No.
What is the problem of sharing this .java file with the client? I am leaking my source code to the client. The client
Yes, sir.
is a dummy application. Yes, no, maybe.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Only open source community is a community which believes in sharing the code also.
Yes.
So the open source. Rest all the corporate companies, they will not disclose the source code, how they made this code. So if I
Yes.
share this .java file with my client, the client gets the entire logic of how I have made the software. So he can reproduce the software, just change the labels. Instead of Trivago, just make it XYZ Go. And I have a competitor in the market. And I am the reason of this competitor. If I had been a bit wise and a bit smart, this competitor would not be there in the market, right? So will
Yes.
you share this source code? So if some Amir says, sir, I want that application in which you are adding two numbers. And I say, okay, Amir, this is that addition.java file, here you can have it. So I am sharing my source code with Amir. Amir can now reproduce this with different variables. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yes.
I can.
Copyright.
And now my
Copyright.
logic has been leaked in the market. So what people do is in Java, what they did is
Yes.
this is human readable form, right?
Yes, sir.
So this human readable form gets, okay, let's come to the drawing board first. Okay. So this human readable file, which is in human readable form, which is having extension as .java, is called as source code, right? Okay, and if I want to misguide Amir, I might give him some false code. Okay, I might just not declare the variables and I tell, okay, Amir, this is the code to add numbers. Now when he tries to run it, it will throw errors. Correct?
Errors, yes, sir.
So he can able to see, but this code is incomplete.
Right.
So this code is not executable code because this code will not execute. Will this code execute?
No, sir.
It will throw error, right? N1 and
Yes.
N3 are not declared.
Yes.
Yes.
One and then
So the source code is .java is a source file. We'll call it as what?
source file.
So this is human readable file. Okay, human readable
File.
human readable. But it contains errors. Chances are there that it may contain
Error.
errors, possibility of errors. Okay. So now what do I want? I cannot run the file with the errors. So I need a file which is error free, which is error free.
Error
What
free.
Java does is in between Java has a compiler. So Java C. Okay. So when you know about the JDK, it is a full kit. So Java development kit, it has all the tools which will help you to develop a Java application. So from that tool, one of the tool is Java C. What is it?
Java C.
That is
Java
called as
C.
compiler.
Java compiler. Yes.
So you will
Yes, sir.
pass this file to the Java C and tell Java, please compile.
Compile. Yes, sir.
And Java
Compile
will
this.
now, if there are any errors, Java will compiler will highlight the errors. Unless and until the program is error free, the compiler will not compile the code. So if you are giving the Java C the file, it has to be error free.
Mhm.
And then what this addition Java C does, it converts this into a dot class file. Dot, and it will make a dot class file for each class in the source file. Remember this. So now if in my here, in this case, how many classes are there?
3 class.
So how many class file will be made?
3 according to Java C if compile
each
and
class
after
will be
compilation is make a 3 class.
Yeah. So after compilation, it will make a class file for each of the class, and that class file will be a only machine readable file. Only machine can read it, humans cannot read it. Okay, machine can interpret that file. So it will be something like int and some these characters, some system, and after system, what is there? I don't know. Some of this
We
nature
can
that okay, so only the
understand.
computer can understand this language. Humans cannot, and so if I give you a dot class file, you still cannot interpret it. Okay, it's like the person who speaks English. If I give him Greek text to read, he will not, even if he has the data, he cannot make use of it. And then this dot class file is sent to the Java interpreter. And that Java interpreter will now execute this dot class file. That is Java. So these two are
Runtime.
your tools, and this interpreter will interpret, and then on the console it will say, okay, answer is 30 because N1 is 10, N2 is 20, and this 30 will reflect on the screen. Can I give the, so if I remove the dot class file, can I directly give the dot Java file to the interpreter?
No.
Why no? First, there is a risk of leaking my
Compilation.
business logic because the code will be read by the humans. And second is, if there are any errors in the source file, the compiler will not be able to, the interpreter will not be able to execute it because interpreter needs a fully error-free file, correct?
Yes, sir.
And which is in machine readable form, not in human readable form. So for every, so this is the step. So I take the source file, compile it. So the tool for the compilation, or the compiler used in Java is your Java C. It's a translator. Compiler means translator. So it is translating the data from which to which file? From the source
Human
to
machine language.
machine readable form.
Yes, sir.
It is not executable code.
Interpreter convert machine to human readable language.
Machine code, you can say. This is not executable code. Dot class file is not executable code. Dot class is then converted by your JVM into executable code. And executable code for that machine only. For that machine only. So machine, how do you spell machine? Is my spelling of machine correct?
MACHIN.
M.
Ah.
There is no E, right?
There is no.
Yeah. So it's a machine code, and this machine code now needs to be converted to native code. Native code means if I have two laptops, laptop 1 and laptop 2, then the native code of both the laptop will vary. Native code of laptop A will not be same as native code of laptop B. For example, if for variable integer n1, the address located for this variable was this address on laptop A. So in the RAM of laptop A, this location was vacant, and I initialized, or I stored the variable, the value of n1 at this location. Is it probable? Is the probabilities that this location will be free on machine B also? Is it? So the JVM takes the machine code and then converts it to that native machine language. Okay, on that machine, n1 got stored on this address. So, and then once it gets converted to that native code, then machine A can execute its own native code and machine B can execute its own native code. Native code of machine A cannot execute on machine B, because for machine A, we've stored the integer n1 at this location. So whatever the value of 10 is there, the value of at this location, I've stored value 10. If I just take this location and add it on machine B, not necessary this will have value as 10 over here. So this address on computer A has value 10 because I have initialized it. But this same address on computer B might have something else. It might have Apple over there. Now, how do you expect me to add Apple with 20? So each machine code has to be converted to native code, and JVM does that for you. Are you all getting what I'm trying to say? This flow. What is source code? What is machine code? What is native code? Native code you can think of as your executable code. So now let's come back to our example. So if I try to compile this code, what will be the output? Who will tell me? If it successfully compiles, which it will, because I'm confident I don't see any errors over here. So what changes will you see if it successfully compiles?
So
Class
it's
file
create
will
a
made.
dot class file main.
If I right click on addition.java and open with Notepad, will it show me the source code? If I right click on addition.java file,
Yes, sir.
be able to see the code as a human. But if
Dot Java, sir. Dot Java in case of dot Java.
yes, .java.
Yes, sir. It shows.
And if I right click on the dot class and then open, will I as a human?
No,
No,
it's
sir.
not shows a human readable
Let's check.
language.
So I open this file in my CMD. Okay. Are you able to see my command prompt?
No. Yes, right.
Okay, so now I
Yes.
do system.java. Okay. At the back end, I want to see the difference, like what is happening in the back end. So I have made this file over here. How many files are there?
Only one.
You all see that, right? Addition, it's a
Yes.
Java file, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now if I open the console, do you all see the background also both
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
the black and the white screen overlap, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now how many files are totally there in this folder?
One.
One.
Now if I hit enter and the compilation is successful, what will happen? It will create me 3 class files, right?
.java, .class, and third one is
Addition.class, A.class, B.class, right?
okay.
So I hit enter over here. And it says what happened. There's some error. See, so unless and until it is error free, it will not. So what happened? What do you think is the error?
N3 is not initialized.
Okay.
You add with N1 plus N2, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I come back over here. I want to show you the background first. Now do you all see the overlapping console? Yes. Do you all see both the screen?
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now again I compile, and now you will see the change in the background also. Compile, and do you see A.class, B.class, addition.class?
B class
Yes.
and addition class.
For every class, it makes a separate class file. Okay. Now, if I try to right click on this addition and open with Notepad++, I see the source code, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So now, if I do the same thing on the addition.class,
Plus.
see what you see. Getting it?
No, sir.
Sir.
Null.
Addition
Can
dot
I,
Java.
if I share this file with any human, can he get the
No.
business?
No, no,
No,
no, no.
sir.
It's machine readable code.
Only machine can read it. And then I have to, so if I give this code to Amir, the Amir's JVM will convert it to Amir's native code. So depending on Amir's RAM memory location which are free, and then that code will be executed by Amir's machine's JVM. And if I give this to Ataullah, then Ataullah's JVM will convert it to his native code. And the native code of Amir machine may or may not match with native code of Ataullah's machine.
Yes, sir.
This is how Java operates, correct?
Okay.
So this is the executable file. So when I say over here, when I say executable, when I say code, by code I mean which code? The machine code. Which code?
Machine code.
So means which file? .java or .class?
.class.
.class file. So with that, so in short, what is a servlet? Yes, can you read it?
The class file kept on the server machine is known as servlet.
So now to make a simple application of, let's say, adding 2 numbers. Okay, so the same we'll take the same example. So now if I want to make an application of add 2 numbers, I want to make a web application. Okay, I want to make a web application and I'll boast in front of my friends that I have made a web application, that if you give 2 numbers to it, it will add that number for you and return you the result. Okay, so you all can stop using the calculator for adding and use my application instead. So this is what I have proposed. So I have to prepare this HTML file, correct? And this which will prompt the user enter number 1 and enter number 2. And based on that, what he or she enters, I will make a button called as addition. Okay, and this is a submit button. This is a submit button, means it will send, submit button means it send the request to the server. So this all data will then go to the server. Will I require database connectivity in this case?
No, sir.
No. So here I will make a addition.java file. Is this my servlet? Is this my
Yes.
servlet? No.
No.
Which is a servlet?
Dot class.
Dot class.
Dot class.
So this file after compiling will become a servlet. This is not a
Servlet. Yes, sir. Got it.
And this is my server. So, and what do you think in web application? Let's say someone who had made Trivago, did he make only one .java file? Or there will be millions and millions of Java files?
Yes, sir.
So in a server, there are many files, okay? So they can be millions of files over here. So there can be file called 1.java, 2.java, and there can be file million.java also. So now how does this HTML page, my add.html page know that which file, which class is doing the job? There are millions of servlets over here, right? So you compile them and becomes a servlet. Okay, after compiling, so addition to Java after compiling will become what?
Dot class file.
Addition dot class.
And 1.java after compiling will become what?
One dot class.
So how many class
Two
files
dot
are there
class.
right now on my server?
4, sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir. 2 dot class and million dot class is last one.
Put over here some dots.
Okay, so there's many files there.
Put some dot over here. So I have how many class files right now? Tell me.
So
Millions of dot
5
class
and
file.
6. Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 million, 1 million and plus 1, 2 Java, 1 million Java plus addition also. Right now I have 1 million, 1 servlets, correct?
Yes.
So now this add.html, when it sends the request, that request will be received by which servlet? How does it know?
The name of the file is unique, sir. Like
No.
add.html, so it's saved with addition dot.
So there is no add.java, no? There is no add.java, there is addition.java.
Right. So depending methods, sir, or
So have
which
you
are
been to
used
a-
here, addition.
Has there been an instance wherein you have been to a big university and you see multiple buildings over there and you are clueless, like which department should I go to? I have come for enrollment of a particular course and now I see hundreds of buildings over here, a very huge campus. So in that case, how do they assist you? So they set up a
Based on a course
set
name,
up a-
sir. Based on a course name, and we
there are hundreds of buildings over there. Which building is that course being conducted? How do you know? So they have a "May I help you" counter at the
Yes.
entrance. They will have a
Inquiry counter.
inquiry counter, perfect, or a "May I help you" counter, right? Okay, and there you can ask, okay, I have come for enrollment of this Java Spring Boot course. So where is it? So she will tell you, okay, building number 3, floor number 2. In that, go and meet Mr. XYZ, correct?
Yes, sir.
So first you will come to whom? This person, and
Yes,
this
sir.
person will tell
Inquiry
you, okay,
center.
you go here, correct?
Right.
So over here, this "May I help you" is web.xml. This is does a routing job. It does the
Routing job.
routing job. Okay. So you will come over
So
there.
how it works, sir? The routing job, how it works, sir? It's
What-
check the first file name and extension of the file.
No, I'll tell you. So you will go to that "May I help you" and you give the keyword Java Spring Boot, right? So it will tell you, okay, go in this building on this floor and go and meet Mr. This, correct? You will have to ask some question to that. No, you have to tell something. You have come for what? So similarly, in our servlet application, this may I help you counter file is your web XML file. Okay. So now when this add.html, it will send a secret key. Okay. It will send a secret key in the form of action. Okay. So action, it will tell, let's say if I tell, give any action. Okay. Let's say it says SCS. So now this action, it will send to, and it will come to web XML. Now web XML has a mapping. It just does the mapping. It just does the routing. There is no business logic in web XML. So it will search and see SCS keyword. Okay, whatever keyword you are giving over here. Okay, let's say SCS Amir, this unique keyword. So it will check this SCS keyword is mapped to which servlet. So it will say, okay, Amir, your code is in addition. You go there. So now it will route this request to this servlet. Okay. I make, let's say, some another page. Okay. I've made application that you give me your date of birth and I will give you your age. Okay? Such a scientific and latest application I made that you give me your date of birth and I will give you your age. So this and age. So this age button. Now when I click on the age button, here the action is different. So here the action, okay, let's say any action he gives. Let's say he gives action called Virat Kohli. We'll do this practically now. Okay. So now this action will go to the web XML. And now he will say Virat Kohli, which servlet is Virat Kohli. Then he will tell you, okay, Virat Kohli, you go in the servlet 2.java. 2.class is your servlet. So it will route this request, which has the action Virat Kohli, to this. I will get what I'm trying to say. So web XML just does the routing part. So request directly doesn't come from the client to the server. It first goes to the web XML. Web XML will check which is that servlet which is handling the request, and it will route that request to that particular servlet. So you have to choose your action keyword very wisely. Okay, and it should be unique. It should be unique. All boils down how you choose your action keyword. So if I have, so it will just, this web XML will just open up the action keyword and then map that action with that servlet class. So now tell me, how many files do I need to maintain for a simple addition of two numbers servlet program? Tell me, how many files do I have to maintain? First file is the HTML file, correct?
Yes, sir.
Second file,
Web.xml
third file,
and class.
directly class.
No, sorry, sorry.
The
Dot Java
then compile and make it.
dot class file.
So how many files do I have to maintain for a simple hello world web servlet program?
4 files.
4 class.
Huh?
4 files, sir.
4 files. So how I will geographically place them? So whenever you install a new software, with that some stereotypes of folders are created, like lib, bin, example. Yes or no? This you will observe with most of the software.
Yes.
Whenever you
Yes.
install it, so it has a fixed pattern. So these folders are normally lib and bin and blah blah blah. Okay. So whenever you install Tomcat, also Apache Tomcat, these folders will be there. Along with that folder, one folder is a web apps. Which folder? What is the name of that folder?
Web apps.
Okay, so you have to keep an eye on this folder. Okay, so this will be our path now. So till whatever is the blue path, these all are predefined. What are they? Inbuilt, right?
Predefined,
Do
yes.
you create these folders or they already there present?
Already there.
Already
Built folders, right?
inbuilt. Yes.
So in your inbuilt folders, you have to go to which folder? Which folder will you go to? Target.
Web apps.
Web apps. Okay.
Web apps.
So in your web apps folder, this is from where your journey will start. Okay.
Okay.
Go and make a folder by your application. So whatever. So if you're making Trivago, okay. So if you're making a hotel search engine, okay, your application is Trivago or whatever applications you are making all these files. So I'm working on Trivago also. Then I'm also making a healthcare application. Okay. This is some of my med. These are all applications I'm currently working on. Okay. So let's say now today we will make my first servlet application. Okay. So whatever application you are making, they all will go to which folder? So right now, do we have all these? We don't have these, right?
Yes, sir. We don't have to.
Okay. And by default, this web app will have some predefined examples for your reference, no? It has some
Yes, yes.
examples for your reference. You can just take it for reference purpose. So this is there, ignore it. So I go in the web apps. Okay. So on the black portion is my folders. Okay. So black folders are user defined. So was this folder there before? When I installed this software, did the black folder exist?
No.
No, right? And the blue folders, did they exist?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what is my application name? And do not give space, okay? Never give space in your folder name also. Space in your application names. Okay, in that you have to go, and now the ovals are my files. My ovals are my file. In this folder, I will place my HTML file, whatever name. But normally, if you want to open it faster, we have to name it index.html. I'll show you the difference why you name it index, or you can name it any name, whatever you wish to. 1.html, XYZ, whatever name you want to give. But index.html is a more professional way. And in that, I will make one more folder. So the rectangle is a folder and the oval is a file. I'll make a folder by web inf, capital web -inf. Okay, this I have to make now.
Web INF.
Capital, okay, capital. And now in that web inf, place the file web XML. Which file to place? And this file cannot change the name. The name is predetermined. You have to name it web XML. And over there, make one more folder by the name classes, all small and plural, all small and plural. Make it classes. And in that classes file, place your, which file? Your Java file. Now, whatever name you want to give. So what did we give?
Addition.java.
And then compile this file. And after compiling, what will it become?
Addition.class.
Yes, compilation is very necessary because the class file is the actual servlet. The Java file is not the servlet. So you have to compile, and a compile I showed you, Java C. You have to just fire the Java C. So after compiling, it will become .class. So this is how you need to structure your application. And all this black portion is user defined. You have to maintain it. As a user, you have to maintain all this. Okay, so once you compile it, it will become a, so compiler is Java C. Got it, guys?
Rectangle is called, sir? Black rectangle portion called, sir?
Folder.
Folder and Eclipse
User
one,
defined.
user defined file.
User defined file. Yeah, these are all the black portion is user defined, and this all
Yes, sir.
will come in the web apps folder.
Okay, file in folder, no?
Yes. So now let's simply do an application of adding two numbers. So can you help me with the HTML code of this? I want a label, a text box besides it, a new line, a label, a text box beside it, a new line, and a button, submit button. Who can help me with that HTML code? Has that been covered? Has this much been covered for you all in HTML?
Form is not covered, sir, right now.
Form is not
Sir.
covered. Okay, so I'll show you.
Yes, sir.
You all see my screen?
Yes, sir. It
Yes,
is.
sir.
So HTML directly I'll switch to, okay, let me give you all a head. Okay, let's follow the structure. Okay,
Head,
okay, let's
head, body,
use the head.
And title and
title,
yes, sir. Head, title, and then body, sir.
Title will go in the head.
No,
Title not go in the head.
note टाइप का portion है ये.
Title and slash
Title name, whatever you want. SSC,
whatever.
SCS.
SCS calculate. Okay, we are doing addition. And title is
Then
the
body
addition.
part.
Head is you'll have the body, correct?
Yes, and we all write a tag in between
And
body
will
part.
make the form. And in that body you make the form, correct?
yes,
Right.
sir.
Yes, no, maybe. No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to give a heading to it, you can give it H1,
H1, H2,
H1
H3, whatever.
okay, addition,
edition.
or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay. Now let's go
Okay.
to the form. And now the form has three attributes, okay? Name, action, and method. Name, action, and
Method.
Method.
three attributes you have to specify. I'll give you all, we'll do that, don't worry, okay?
Yes,
And
Okay.
the value will be always be in double quotes. Always try to give it in
double quotes.
no commas. There is no comma separated.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no comma over here. Remember that. Okay. Now, first thing first, the first label, what was that? Enter what? Number one. And then beside that, you
Yes.
have a text box. So what would you say?
Input type,
Input
text
type
box.
is text.
text,
You give the name to the text. Name is
and T1
and give a BR. So
BR.
that
For next line.
Next. And T2.
Number 2. T2. Yes, sir.
And then the next, what will you have? You direct input type as submit, correct? If you are sending the request to the server, input type is
Submit.
name of the button is S1. And what text you want to show is the value. What text you want
Value.
to show on that?
Sir, we can type here button type, input type button.
Button is for JavaScript. That is if you want to call a client side function. If you
Okay.
want to call a client side script. So if you in the head no, we also have a script tag.
Okay.
You might have this called JavaScript. Okay, so language you can choose as JavaScript. So if you want to call any method from here, okay, this is normally I write it in the head tag. I write the script along with the title in the head. So now here, if you are making a function, okay, add, and now you want to call this add function, then you will say button. Then you will say what? But if you are sending the request to the server, then you will use submit. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So this is my HTML page. Now where do I save this? Okay, let's before type and keep it, and then we will. Okay, now form name, give whatever name, F1. Now action, you have to give that keyword. Okay, so let me take an abbreviation of yours. Okay, so U for Umar, A for Amir, S for Shabana, A for Ataullah, M for Mehtab, S for Shakib Bhai. Okay, so what is the abbreviation being formed?
dot a
No, so,
action na sir.
सबका first letter we can use as
So USA AMS. Okay. Give any?
Yes.
Yeah. So USA
USA
AMS.
AMS. Yes sir.
Okay, and method by default we have get and post. Okay, so as of now let's stick to the get method. Simplest of all method is your
Get.
you have many HTTP methods. Going forward you will learn many HTTP methods. Okay, remember them. This is very commonly asked in the interview. What are the HTTP methods? So you have get, post, put. Okay, put, patch, delete. So at least these five, if you know, are more than sufficient. So from that, the most basic one, and this is the default one. Get is the default one. So if you don't specify anything, it will take what? What will it take if I don't specify the method? Which is the default method?
Get.
Get. So let's specify it also. Method is I'm using is get. Okay, is these 3 points clear? Now what is this action used for now? Where will this be useful for me? Where will this action be useful for me? At what place?
may help you counter
Web.xml.
The web.xml. Okay, it will ask me for that. What have you come here for? If I go to the
Yes, sir.
inquiry counter and I just stand still over there, will that person be able to help me? I have to tell for what purpose I have come, right?
Yes, sir.
I have to give web XML the action. What is the action? So
You
based on that action only, it will be able to guide me. Okay, this is your servlet. So now let's create that servlet which will do the addition. Okay, then we have two types of servlets, HTTP servlet and generic servlet. Remember, which are the two types? HTTP servlet and, yes guys, generic servlet. HTTP servlet and generic servlet. Okay, this generic servlet supports all protocols, like TCP/IP, UDP, POP, okay, even HTTP. But the HTTP servlet is only tailor-made for which protocol? Customized support for which protocol, as the name suggests? Yes, guys.
Transfer protocol.
HTTP protocol only, and we will always be using the HTTP protocol. So which servlet will I be using?
HTTP
HTTP,
servlet.
not use generic servlet. So what you have to do is you have to go and make a class. It will be public, and which whatever name you wish to give to the class, which extends the HTTP servlet. Remember this. And which class? So, and now always import. So this is in your Java X dot servlet dot HTTP dot start. Okay, so import this package. Also import this package, and also import. Okay, I did not do the import keyword, right? So import these packages. Also import the IO package.
Sir, when we write a import Java X dot servlet dot star, then why we need to write the first one, sir?
Dot star means only the classes and interfaces, not the sub packages. So when I say
Okay.
servlet dot star doesn't include the sub packages, only includes classes and interfaces. So all classes and interfaces in this package and in this package.
Okay.
Dot star doesn't include sub package. Okay, so now you have made a class which is public and which extends the HTTP servlet. Okay. Now which method are we using? Get or post? Which method are we using? Get.
Get, sir.
Get. So override the public void to get method. Which method?
Do get.
And if you're using post, then override which method?
Post. Do post.
Do post. Okay, and this do get will take as argument the request and the response. The request and the I showed that on the
Response.
very first slide, right? I showed that over here. So which is this green arrow and which is this red arrow?
Sir, we can see, sir, whiteboard of.
Now
Yes, sir.
which is the green arrow, which is the red arrow?
XML file. Sorry. Request JSON.
Yeah, so
Result.
request object, and the red
Yes.
arrow is skip the
Response.
JSON will not do right now. This time we'll do in Spring Boot. So request and
Response.
response. So
Response.
that will be as a
Yes, sir.
parameter to this method. And we are using
Yes.
which servlet?
HTTP servlet.
So you will say HTTP servlet request and make an object of that, whatever name you wish to give. You can give request, you can give REQ, you can give R1, whatever. But I will give request and HTTP servlet
Response.
and I will give response.
And RSP. Okay.
And as you have
Response.
these, they have a tendency of throwing exceptions. So they have a tendency of throwing exceptions. So throws just
Use
IO
Throws.
exception.
exception. Input output
and servlet
exception.
Which exception? Whatever exception occurs will be managed by the JVM, not by us. So throw
Yes, sir.
IO exception and servlet exception.
Mhm.
Servlet exception is in this package, and HTTP servlet is in this package. So I added this package. I was using this class, and I added this package, servlet package, because I was using the HTTP servlet exception class. Okay, now once that is come, okay, you are going to send the data response in how many types can we send the response in? Response can be sent in how many ways? This is a type 1 and this is type 2. So how many ways can we send the response in? Either plain
Two.
text.
Text or
Two
a
type.
HTML format. Two type.
Two type.
So response will come with which object? Request object or response object?
Request.
Request.
Response object, right? This answer will come. So if you
Okay.
pass 10 and 20, 30,
Yes, sir.
30
Yes,
will
yes.
come
Sir.
as object.
Response. Response
So
object,
we will
yes.
say- and we have made the response object over here, right? So we will say response dot set content type. What are we telling?
Set
Source
content
Type.
type.
It will be either text or will be either HTML. Will be either text or
Either HTML.
HTML. Okay. And now to send the response, we have to make an object. We will make an object of print writer. Okay. And I'm making the object as out. And we will be sending the response with it, right? So response dot get writer. This is just learned by heart. No need to go deeper into this. Okay. Now till here is, see, this much code is learned by heart. This much code is common for all the servlets which you will be making. Okay, so I'm sending this common code on the group. Ataullah can paste it on the chat. And now my first number is coming from which text box?
T1.
And second number is coming from which text box?
T2.
And they are text boxes, means data is in the form of a string. Data is in the form of a
String. Yes,
string.
sir.
Text box, right? Text is string.
Yes, sir.
So when I say over here, if I want to add 10 and 20, so this 10 is not your number 10. It will be which 10? Which 10?
String 10.
And this 20 will not be your number 20. Will be your
String.
String 20.
string 20. So data is coming from which? Request or response? This 10 and 20 is coming via which object? Green or red? The
Sir,
10
coming. Map.
Yeah, coming in the
Response.
server. We on the server, right? This is the servlet, right?
Hmm.
So the 10 and 20 will come via which object? Red or green?
The response, sir.
I am on the
If-
server. I am over here. I am over here at the server. And the client
Okay.
is sending me 10 and 20. So 10 and
Yes,
20 is
sir.
coming via
Okay,
what?
but request, sir.
Request.
It's a
Request, right?
request.
So you can say now request dot get parameter. Get what?
Get parameter.
And
Parameter.
text box name
T1.
T1. And
Same,
this is the
same
string
for
data, right? This is the,
string data.
what will you do?
Integer %.
Parts int.
And convert it into a integer variable.
Yes.
So I'll take integer n1, correct?
Yes, sir.
And similarly, second number,
T2. Same
Copy
for
paste
T2.
in N2 and yeah, T2 N2
then I will take my third variable.
Yes,
N3
N3.
N1 plus
And then
N2.
for this, now I made it to display, I made the out object. So now don't display system.out is your console. System.out means
Console.
console, the default output device. And system.in is the keyboard, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So now are we sending the output on the console or on the web page?
Web
Send
page.
the answer on the console or on the web page.
Web page, sir.
So for that I made my own out. So I will use this
Out.
out dot print
Out. Println. Okay.
answer. Okay. So now my servlet also is ready. Is my servlet ready or is my Java file ready? When will my servlet be ready? When I successfully compile this, correct?
Compile. Yes, sir. Class file kept.
So now
Yes.
I have got my source HTML file is there, my Java file is there. Now I need the third file, which is the third file. After compiling, it will become dot class, right? So I have out of these files, which all files have I made ready till now?
This
Ready?
file is saved with the extension .xml.
Yeah, that is my this file. This is my .html. This is ready. Index.html.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is
We
the
need-
HTML file. And sir, second one, sir, the Java file is a .java.
.java. That this also is ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now
Yes, sir.
which file? Now after compiling, it will become .class. So no need.
Yes, sir.
That is just to compile. Now what is left?
XML.
Web.xml.
So what simply what they have given you for your help, no? So for your help, you go to the Apache Foundation, go to your web apps, and you will see examples over there, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Examples.
So first thing first, what you do is you make a fresh file, and every XML file has a root tag, has a
Root
you
tag.
can give whatever you want to give, but I give web-app. What I give?
Web-app. Web app.
Okay. Now in this,
Define tag, sir.
hmm,
Tag is a fixed or a
this you can play around with it. You
user
can
define a tag.
you try with SCS app also. See, it will not. be a-
Okay, there is a
So
use
but normally
user
I do not.
defined
I
tag.
do not.
Okay, sir, I understand, sir.
I do not do variation in this. I keep it simple. Web app. Okay.
Okay.
Now here, what it will do is, so what the for this code, no, you come to your examples, and examples go to web-inf. You see. Do you see web-inf?
Yes. Web-app.
Go to web-inf, and you will see a sample web XML. You see this web XML document.
Yes, sir.
You open that web XML document, and you scroll down, and just copy two tags from it. Just copy the two tags. I will show you. Just copy the two tags, servlet and servlet mapping. Okay, this one. Take one servlet tag. Okay. And take one servlet mapping tag. Servlet mapping. That's all you want to copy. Take one which tag?
Serverlet
Servlet
mapping.
But that's all. You are naming your HTML file as index, right?
Hmm.
You're naming your HTML file as what? Index.html. Okay, as of now, this is okay. This was sufficient. Is this visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now first,
Web.xml file.
whatever action we are giving, you have to pass over here. What is the action? What is the action?
Yes. USAMS. Yes.
Put that over here. Now tag this action to any of the string. Okay, to any string. Okay, let's say I tag it to this string. What string have I tagged it to?
World Cup.
And now take this World Cup. This is servlet name, right?
Yes, sir.
Copy this and paste over here, servlet name as it is. Okay. And this servlet name is now tagged to which class? Which class are we tagging it?
Which edition?
Addition, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's put that over here. As simple as that with the mapping. Who understood this? So from my front end, whatever action is coming after a slash, okay? There's a slash, remember that. Give your action, map it to any keyword, any keyword. So if I map it to apple, then just copy this line, paste it over here as it is. And this apple is mapped to which class now?
Edition.
Addition. So this is how it will route this HTML to this addition. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Now my
Yes,
three
sir.
files are ready. Now let's save them. So let's keep on saving. So I click on the save. So where do I save them now? I go to my Eclipse, Apache. Now go to which folder?
Web apps.
Web
And make a
apps.
folder by your application. So what will I make? My first servlet. Okay, don't give any space.
Okay, sir.
And here I will save it by what name?
Index.html.
Very good. Now this is my second file. How will I save this now?
Edition
So I go to my web app.
classes. No, sir?
My
Oh,
first
yes. My
servlet.
first.
Okay, first let's save the XML file. First, let's save the XML file because the folder structure is. Let's save this file. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's save it. Web apps. This. Make a folder by what name?
Web.xml.
Web-inf folder.
Folder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Folder.
Web I.
Yes. Web-inf. Yes, sir.
Web-inf folder, right? In that web-inf folder, go in the folder and save it by what name? Web.xml. There is no option. You have to give it web.xml. Okay.
Web.xml only. Yes, sir.
And how will I save this file now? In the web.xml. So in your application web-inf, make a new folder by what name? Classes in all small. Classes in.
Classes. Yes.
And save it by what name?
Addition.java.
Java. Okay.
Yes, sir. So we can see only that page. Classes JSP line. Yes, sir.
Now let's come back. Okay. So now I'm coming back to my web app. So now this is how my application is looking like. My first servlet
Yes. Web.
contains the file and a folder.
Yes.
Contains the
sir.
file and a folder. And now what
Yes.
I'll do, I'll have to compile this file, right?
First, yes, sir.
So I go to
Because of dot class file.
I select this and write CMD over here. Opens
Okay.
command prompt at that location and I say Java C, which file?
Addition.java. Yes.
Compile
Compile
successfully.
successfully. Yes, sir.
You might see a class file at the background. You
Class
see?
file.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all good. Now you go and start your server. Now you go and start
your
server and let's try to run this.
in
So,
Eclipse.
our server is already started, looks like, right? Server is already started.
So how do I know server is started?
You will see an icon
Yes,
over
sir.
here. If you see my screen, you see
Where?
icon over here, this
Okay.
Apache Tomcat.
Apache Tomcat 9.0. Yes, sir.
And when you had started the application, you might have seen that startup page. You might have seen the startup page. I'll show you. Might have seen that startup page also. This startup page is still there, right? I didn't close this startup page, did I? Did I close this startup page?
Okay.
Did I click on the red? So if you click on the red cross, the server will stop. So this is still running. So you go to your, now I'll again show you how to come here. So open your local host 8089 for whatever server port you had given. Go to manager app, and in that look for your application. Where is your application? Do you see your application? Do you see your application here?
Yes, sir.
Click
My
on,
first
and
servlet.
your page opens up. Okay, and now you do 10 and 20, and you click on
Okay.
addition. Gives you answer as 30. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this
Got it.
response I was sending as a plain text, right? I can also
Okay.
send the response in HTML format also. So how? So if I want to send this in a bold, then how do we do it in HTML? Which tag you used to give it bold?
Bold tag or a strong tag we can use.
So I'm using B tag. You see my screen?
Yes.
So I can, so now if I, now this is a Java file, right? So in Java, whenever you make changes, you have to recompile. So make changes and now recompile your Java code. So I come here, open containing folder in CMD and Java C and compile my .java file always. What happened? Okay, give it in double quotes. Give it in double quotes.
So double quote means a string format ये to as it is.
See this.
No, for concatenation, we use that,
See this.
not a string.
So now I've given B tag, given the entry and close the B tag, and I save it. Okay. What happened now?
Cannot
HTTP
find
H capital.
HTTP.
Sir, H is a capital. Is a small letter, a smaller capital
Then what
issues here?
happens is this latest what do you call them? Your Apache. You see my screen?
Yes, sir.
They don't use Java X. They use Jakarta. They use what?
Jakarta.
So change the package
Nice.
name to
What is this then? Jakarta?
the latest Tomcat. They don't use Java X package. They use which package?
Jakarta package. Okay.
Jakarta. Okay. So I change the package name. Go to command
Interesting name, sir.
Java C. What happened now? Jakarta does not exist.
Import does not exist.
Let's go back to Java X only. Java X. I guess your latest latest JDK is no 14, 15. These guys might use. So now I'm using a B tag, concatenating the N3 to 8, and then closing the B tag and saving it. Okay. And I go to my CMD and I try to compile this. It says Java C servlet does not exist. Cannot find HTTP. It is not able to find HTTP servlet. It is not able to find response and servlet exception. Yeah, so it is a matter of the package. So let's Google this error. What is it telling? Package not exist. Okay, so let's see what is the solution for that. So let's open a tab and see what it has to say. It says package Java X use JDK 1.7 and Tomcat See, it says use Jakarta instead, right? So if you using Java, whatever, you should be downgrading the Tomcat 9 or older. So is it JSP or servlet? No, no need for the dependency, not a Maven project. So either we have to try with these three extensions. So we tried for the first time successfully, right? Java home. Okay. It says never try to use the same command prompt for your execution. Okay, you're trying to do at least this much for today. Then we'll see at the errors. Okay. Try to
Okay, sir.
this much. I'll share the files with you all and try to do this much. Then maybe tomorrow or Monday we'll figure out if we all are getting the same messages. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.